Hello, how are you? Hope you're all well. We're going to work on our little journal today, and basically this is what I do once I've got pages together and everything. I've kind of made some ephemera which I'll just show you rather quickly. So that's the piece of canvas that's cut ready for us to sew the signatures in. These are the page embellishments that are going to go into this journal. So I have those in here. I'm going to keep these two out because I will be using those during what I'm doing today. I have done a few little page alterations. I will show you as we go through. And these are the embellishments that I've got ready to kind of put into the journal. So I've got a little collage tag that and the pocket ready. I've got another little tag here with a piece of canvas, obviously I'll trim bits. Another little collage tag. There's a little hangy tag using my second embellished entomology kit, and these also use the embellished entomology kit. I've got another little tag here that I've made out of part of a book page. I've made a little kind of, it's not glassine bag, it's made from the photo album pages with a little entomology collage and a little tag in there. Another little tag that I've stenciled and stitched. This is also, I'm going to leave out because this is a little stamped flip out I've made which will go onto one of the pages. There's another little collage and stamp tag. I don't know if you can guess, but I finally got the entomology stamp set. It was not supposed to come until the end of August, but it's a bit early. And a little canvas calico printed piece that I'll glue in. I've also got some extra tracing paper page, but I don't know if I'm going to use that as yet. So I make bits and pieces as I'm going through. I've still got a few things to make and I'm going to do a video on one of them. So I have everything together, and I'm doing 3 journals like this, and they're all in a basket, and they're all kept kind of like this with everything together for that particular journal. So what I do is I've got some bits of paper that I've kind of torn down. I've got no idea. I know I'm going to need at least one more piece because I've got a little plan which I will show you. Let me just make sure I'm in frame. Yeah. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the papers to bits of book page that I maybe want to cover up. So I start with the first signature and I go through. So I've got a piece here that I want to cover, and like I said, I've already cut a few pieces that I might want to use. Now this one, I actually kind of want, I haven't inked that, would you believe, because I wasn't sure I would use it, but this is a piece of, it's like an old, well, I'll show you. I picked this up, it's like an old accounts book, and it's really lovely. And then somebody is learning what I believe to be Spanish, and no, not Spanish, it's didn't it? This is about chapters in books, and this is definitely, oh, this is chapters as well. This is definitely a language, somebody trying to learn a language. So that was that. Useless piece of information for you there. We've got a lovely sunny day, but it's chilly, really chilly. There's a bitter wind today, so I won't need that for a moment. So I'm just going to kind of stick a couple here, and on one of these pages I also want to use one of these, or actually should I put this on the, no, I think I'm going to put that in the middle signature. So I'm just going to cover up some of this text so there's a little bit of writing room. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my combo, and I really like doing this because on some of these it actually you get a little wrinkle in the paper, and I just think it looks really cool. It's still flat enough to write on, it's not a wrinkle that would get in the way. So I'm using Pritt stick in the middle because I really like how that adheres to the page, and I don't think you'd have any problem just using the Pritt stick, but it's Probably not got as much longevity as the old Fabri-Tac, so one little bit of word sticking out of that side. Give that a good rub down. Can you see there's a tiny crease there, but you can see it, you can't feel it. It's very odd. It looks great. I really like it. So that's stuck. That bit's a little bit, I'll just throw that around. This is a little bit too small to use the Pritt stick without getting the glue over the edge, which I don't want to do, so I'm just going to Fabri-Tac this down. So this is, I think this is the most exciting part of putting the journal together. And I go through the whole journal 3 times. This is part 1, and then I've got some stamping to do. Now this is the page that I want to do something on, and I know I'm going to have to cut another piece of paper for this, because what I've got, oh, maybe I could use this. No, that's not going to look as good as what I've done in the other 2 journals. So I am going to, wrong ruler. And I really, really want to keep this below 30 minutes. That will be about right. Just going to take the top off, roughly measure, and that bottom bit off. And I've got 2 more scraps if I need them. I'll give this a quick ink. So what I might have to do is do the kind of step 2 and 3 that I do just for one of the signatures, so you get the idea, because I'm not sure that 30 minutes is going to be long enough to do everything that I do. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'm just putting a strip of line of Fabri-Tac along the top, and I'm gluing that into place, but I need it fairly close to the edge of the flip out page. I've added these pages since we did our little flip through, or little selection of pages, and I've also added tracing paper pages. These gorgeous images come from Julie on the Old Design Shop, and when you purchase these you get them as a JPEG, but then you get them as a PNG file too, so they're awesome. Right, so I've just got this little flap at the moment, and what I'm going to do is, this is kind of, I did those little tags, window tags, so this has kind of come from that, which was initially obviously inspired by the lovely Jibid Neary. Hi Jibid. So what I want now to put it up here is, I printed the set 2 entomology on a onto, this is actually tracing paper, this is not vellum, this is just a 90, I'm going to use that somewhere. This is a 90 GSM tracing paper, so I'm just cutting that out, and I'm going to slide this in. I need to cut a little bit off the top there. I'd imagine I'm going to have to cut some off the side too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the butterfly where I want it, and I'm going to put a little bit of Fabri-Tac around the hole on the tea stained paper. What I don't want to do is get too close to that hole, and I'm just going to pop that down. And then I'm going to lift it up, and I'm going to put the glue around the hole on the other side, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of a wiggle of glue down the centre of that paper, because I'm going to stitch around the edge. Not today, well I will do it today, but not on camera, because I do all of the sewing onto the pages at the end. Okay, so now what we've got is we've got a little flip out with a little piece of writing space here, and you can see the butterfly through both sides. So that's one of the things I'm doing. I've used this other idea from Jibid too with the putting the paper down the spine, because these book pages, there was a couple of quite large holes, and initially I was going to just put some calico down them, and then I remembered Jibid's idea of using the paper, so I've done that. That's our butterfly page. So I'm not sure if there's any other, I'm not going to cover up the Edith Holden writing, because writing, it's my Suffolk accent coming out now, writing, because I really like that. So we've got a little bit here. Most of this is covered with the image, so I'm just going to think about whether I even want something on here just to break up that. So I just play around. That would work quite well. Yep, I think we'll go for that there. That's actually a flat edge, so I'll have that against the edge of the page. Oh, winding me glue all the way down, not taking the lid off. That's the trouble with this Yoo-Hoo Pritt stick, it looks the same both ends. Bit of Fabri-Tac around the edge. I'm going to line, I'm not going to put it completely on the crease. It does give a really nice surface, the Pritt stick, or Yoo-Hoo stick. Okay, so that's that bit. I'm not sure if I quite like that. I'm just going to see what else I've got. Oh, I've got another one here, so I'm definitely only going to be able to do probably one signature. Yep, quite like that. So we'll see how many minutes have we been. We've been over 5. I suppose we'll be able to probably be able to get through. Oh, my daughter's now coming down the stairs and she doesn't know I'm filming, so she might come in loudly. Right, so I'll stick that one down first. Just go for Fabri-Tac on this one. It comes out. And this is one of the little backgrounds, and I've just popped on a tiny little torn flower from the one of the floral kits that I have, Country Garden, I think. I really like that page. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, I've probably got enough ink on here. Yep. I'm going to ink this little circle. I don't want to waste it. I'm going to pop it on this grid paper like I have on the other two. They're obviously all in different places. And then when I do the stamping, I'm going to stamp a tiny little insect on there. Right, so that's the first signature done. for part 1. I think we've got enough time to... This writing I really like. I like that. And there's room to write at the bottom there. So I'm not going to do anything to that. I think what I'm going to do... No. The middle signatures don't have as many of the big book pages. So I'm not anticipating needing to do any covering up on this signature. That will obviously be sewn in. That's a piece of it's quite an old writing paper set. It's quite thick paper, so I'm turning that into a pocket. Yeah, I like those pages with the writing, so I'm not doing anything on that one. So then this is our final signature, and here we go. That's quite big. I might have another fold out page that I will do something with, which that's the side I've inked. So it just gives a little bit of extra writing space. Quite often I'll leave them because I like to put a bit of gesso over if I'm journaling onto it, or you know, glue pictures and things to the book page, but for these ones I thought I would cover up a bit of the writing. I'm just doing a few of the things that I haven't done for a while, because I mean I haven't printed onto tracing paper for I don't know how long. You go through phases, don't you, of what you like to do, and I think at one point I was putting page and page and pages and pages of tracing paper in. I haven't done it for a while, so I've just put in I think there's 3 tracing paper pages per journal, only because I literally had 3 different sets from the lovely Julie. Right, so this one I think I'm going to put onto this page, and I'm good with covering part of these flowers up because I like the paper. So yeah. So same again, Pritt stick in the middle, whoops, throw it around. It's because I'm trying to rush. It is really difficult for me to join 2 videos because it is so slow, and I just don't have time to spend. I do need to look into trying to speed this up a little bit, like that way around. That sticks really nicely, and that's really easy to put the crease back in there. So now I've got a pretty sticky finger. Let's see if we have any other words. I'm going to do some stamping on these ones. I'm still not convinced we're completely finished with the stamping, with the that's the side, that's with the pages, but I'm quite happy with what we've got so far. Like I said, I do all the sewing of the pages at the end. I don't usually rush through this quite like I am today. There was something else I was going to tell you. Oh, I started a group. So exciting. Facebook group. Something I said, I've never done that. And then I just thought, do you know what? Facebook Live seems a lot less scary than YouTube Live. Although I'm still not prepared for that yet. But one day I will. Now, do I want to use this? Yes, I do. I'm going to glue this on. I was up at 4 this morning and managed to catch the lovely April from Pink Oddbird on her live, 2nd morning in a row. It was really cool. It was quite nice because I started working down here at 4 o'clock, and then I thought, oh, I wonder if she's live again today. And then I had a little watch of April, which was quite nice, passed the time away while I was on my own down here. Now, do I want anything else, or is that enough? I think I just want, maybe I don't even want that. Maybe I want that. Maybe I want that. I've got a little strip here too. Oh, yeah, I like that. Let's give this a little ink. This is Hessian. No, it's not. It's not Hessian at all. It's frayed burlap. So I completely lied to you there. That I got from the lovely Abby. It's kind of one of my new favourites. It's slowly taking the place of my vintage photo, but that's mainly because my vintage photo's pants. I've got the re-inker, so I've re-inked it, but I don't really want to pay for the, what's it called? Is it glycerin? I don't know. Whatever it is that you can soften the pad up again with. I don't want to be doing that, so might need a new pad soon. I've got 3 of the same colour. 2 of them are completely, they've died. Because I didn't actually know you could get re-inkers for them when I first started this journaling malarkey. Quite like that. That'll make a nice little place for a stamp actually, although I might stamp down here. Right, so that's the first step. That's what I do first of all. Go through all the pages, and then I go back to the start. And now, this is where I would have pulled out my Bow Bunny script stamp. But hey, now I've got my entomology stamp. Who needs the Bow Bunny stamp anymore? I probably will still use it when I find it, because I've lost it. I don't know where it is. I think I've put it away with another stamp. So the first thing I'm going to do, and this idea comes from the lovely Sagita, is go through and just put a few little stamps on. And I use the vintage photo because it is a bit pants, it doesn't come out very dark. And I just put the tiniest amount here and there, not on every page. I don't use, the only thing I am going to do is on one of the tracing paper pages, I am going to use a full page. And I think what I'm going to do is put a little bit there. That's very pale, but it's there. So not that tracing paper one. And I use a different part of the stamp just here and there. I'm probably only going to do one signature, so you don't have to watch me do the whole journal. But I'm going to do... And the thing is, the more random you are with this, the better it looks. Sagita is absolutely right about that. If you try and be too uniform with it, it just does not look great. Now, I'm thinking about moving this. I really like the tracing paper over that lined paper. I think I will leave it where it is. On all of the other books, I've done a full page, so I think I'm going to do a full page. Get that little bit out. I don't want this, because I still want you to be able to write over this if you wanted to. So that's going to be the full page in this signature. I like this piece along the top here. Do that. I think I might do a little bit on here, and I'm going to do a little bit on this corner, and that will be it. So that is what I would do. Now I still didn't put this in, so I need to find somewhere for this. So I'm going middle signature, and I'm finding somewhere where it's a bit plain. So I think I'm going to put it here. So what I do is, this is just this little muslin hinge. I'm going to put a very, very fine bead of glue along here, because it will be sewn, so I don't want much glue. Line this stamp up and then just pop that on there. And a little strand of glue there. Now I'm not going to close that for a moment or two because it's still going to be wet, but what I would do is I would go through every signature again and do that base stamping. So then I would come back to the first signature, and this is when I'm going to switch my inks to my archival, and now I'm going to do my entomology stamping. I'm so glad this came before I finished this journal. So I'm not going to do a massive amount of stamping, and there's probably people shouting at me telling me how I should be doing my stamping, but they've all come out perfectly so far. So that's that one. Let's give that a... Right, now I do want some stamping here. What should we go for? I think I'm going to go for the ladybird. I'm so in love with this. I'm so glad it came. I'm going to get the butterfly one next. That will be my next purchase one day. I think, is it called Papillion? I think I want him at a little bit of an angle. I love them. I'm going to put this tiny little fella bottom here. So the other thing I'm mindful of are the things that I still have to add. I'm going to put something in here, I think. Whoops. Now this one's a little bit bigger, so I am going to turn this over. I'm going to pop him down here. I mean, it's still, you could still cover this up if it's not something that's to your taste. That hasn't come out quite as well. Might remove that page, we'll see. Actually no, I've got a better idea. I know what I'm going to do with that. Right. I want a little stamp here. What I would normally do, I don't know why I haven't, is I normally pull the page out and stamp it. I don't normally stamp it while it's in the book. I think I did the last signature like this. Or maybe the last two. Maybe the last two. Maybe I do it like this more often than I think. But the good thing about doing the stamping before you put the book together is if you do mess a page up, which, you know, is possible, then I can replace the page quite easily. I don't know if I want them. No, I think I'm alright with that. Right, so that is what I would do. I would go through, do the background stamping, go through, do any other stamping that I want to do. Well, how are we doing for time? Okay, so this is still our signature number 1. So what I would do now is I've got my page embellishments, and I've got 2 per signature. Now I've already put a couple in, so let me check and see if there is one in here. I'm pretty sure it was signature number 1 we put our little tag in. Maybe I was wrong, maybe it wasn't. No, it's not this page. Yes, it is. So we've got one here already, and that's quite a simple one. So I'm going to put those 2 together. I think I'm going to put these 2 together, and I'm going to put those 2 together. So somewhere in this signature I want this page embellishment. Now that doesn't mean I'm not going to add any more page embellishments, because it's possible that I will. So This needs to be, this is a kind of a left hand side of the page. Well, there we go. Looks like I'm going to have to try and loop these together because the camera just died. So I'm going to pop this one here. Now I'm just, it's quite flimsy, so I'm not even going to think about making this a little corner tuck. But I am going to make sure I get glue kind of everywhere really, to make sure this is really well adhered to my page. Let me get that little butterfly wing. Make sure all the edges are done. And then I'm going to pop that here. And like I said, I've still got other things to go into this journal, so there's going to be lots of other things going on the pages. I haven't decided yet whether I'm doing some trim or whether I'm doing some tabs, because yes, my tab punch came too. Awesome. So that's our first signature kind of prepared. All the pages in this one are now prepared. So I'm going to go ahead and do pages 2 and 3, and I'll do that while I am editing the video, ready to put it up in one part. And what I'm going to be doing is making, this is not finished, but we're going to be making a kind of little file folder with a slip pocket, and we're going to decorate it. So that's what we're going to do when I come back in a little while. So thank you for watching. Hopefully these splice together nicely, because I don't want to upload these as 2 videos. This one's way too short. So I will see you all again very soon, and thanks for watching, and go and check out my group. See you soon. Bye.